Public debt. The game. No one wants to end, and no one can win. Have you ever wondered why the world has never been richer? Technology has never been more advanced, yet we always feel short of breath? Why does every new generation seem to inherit a gigantic burden, a debt they never agreed to, never signed for? The answer lies in a game no one wants to end, and a game no one can win, a game called public debt. 1. Public debt. From emergency tool to addiction. In the beginning, public debt was meant as an emergency measure. When economies collapsed, governments borrowed to build infrastructure, provide relief, keep society afloat. It was like painkillers, necessary, useful, reasonable. But soon, humanity became addicted, from painkiller to drug. Governments discovered, with more borrowing, they could keep growth alive, keep stability, keep power. And so, public debt was no longer a temporary solution. It became the foundation of the modern financial system. Today, we no longer live in a productive economy. We live in a borrowed one. 2. Numbers that speak, and the illusion of normal. Look at the numbers. The United States, more than $34 trillion in public debt. While GDP is only about $27 trillion, even the entire economy cannot cover the debt. Japan, public debt exceeding 260% of GDP. The Bank of Japan prints money to buy its own government bonds, borrowing from the right hand to pay the left. Europe, Italy, France, the UK all near or above 100% of GDP. China, hidden debts at local governments and state banks, swelling beyond measure. So the question is, if everyone is in debt, then who is the final creditor? The truth, no one. We are borrowing from ourselves, mortgaging the lives of the unborn. This is no longer the story of one nation. This is a global financial time bomb, and we are all sitting on it. 3. Why public debt cannot be repaid, and why no one intends to imagine a household drowning in debt. The only way out is to spend less, work more, save relentlessly. But governments cannot do that. If they cut social spending, they lose votes. If they raise taxes, citizens revolt and economies stall. So what do they choose? The easiest path: borrow more. In truth, politicians are buying survival for their own term by selling the future of your children. This is why every promise to reduce deficits or control the debt is nothing more than political theater. No one truly plans to pay. 4. The game of new debt to pay old debt. Public debt today is not paid down. It is simply rolled over. Governments issue new bonds to pay off old ones. As long as investors buy, the game continues. But this fragile cycle depends on low interest rates. When rates rise, the cracks show. Right now, the U.S. alone spends over $1 trillion every year just on interest. Not principal, just interest. That's equal to the entire federal budget for defense, education, and healthcare combined. Think about that. The world's superpower works tirelessly, not to build or grow, but simply to pay interest. This is no longer investment. It is the price of postponement. 5. Who benefits and who pays? Not everyone loses in this game. The winners, Wall Street, global banks, financial giants, they collect steady interest from government bonds while using cheap credit to swallow smaller businesses. Incumbent governments also win. They buy stability, win time, cling to power. But the losers? The people. Your money loses value. Inflation silently robs you. You work harder, but buy less. And above all, the next generation. They inherit a world that has maxed out its credit limit. They are born into debt. before they can even spell their own name. 6. Public debt and the moral question. Here lies the heart of the matter. Public debt is not only an economic issue, it is a moral crime. One generation borrows, lives in comfort, then transfers the burden onto the next, without asking, without consent. And yet the system still calls this national stability. But this is not stability. This is intergenerational betrayal. 7. The endgame. No winners. No one knows how the game will end, but everyone knows it cannot last forever. 3 scenarios loom. Scenario 1, prolonged inflation. Governments print more money, debt to GDP ratios shrink on paper. But in reality, it is outright theft of purchasing power from citizens. Scenario 2, global debt crisis. When investors lose faith, bonds go unsold, central banks powerless to intervene. Scenario 3, system reset. Debts erased, currencies replaced, national digital currencies, CBDCs, introduced. Every transaction tracked, financial privacy gone. And we will be told, this is the only way to save the world. But in all cases, the result is the same. No one wins, everyone pays. 8. Awakening, or sleeping in illusion. So the real question is, what will we do? Keep believing in hollow promises? Keep dreaming of stability? Remember this, when you are in debt, you lose freedom. And when the entire system is built on debt, you, the ordinary citizen, have become the collateral. No politician will end this game. Debt is their oxygen. Only you, those willing to ask questions, to see clearly, to refuse to live in illusion, can prepare for a different path. We cannot borrow forever to hide the truth. The game will end. And when it does, what have you prepared? If you believe this message matters, share it, not for views, but because we cannot win a game until we know the rules.